What's cracking, guys? Bruce Matson here, your host of the show, Metric Scout Fantasy Football. And Mel Kiper dropped a new mock draft today. We're going to have to go over that right now. And how we do this is we just go over the landing spots and we just look at the skilled players and just envision how these players would be valued, ranked, how they would impact us for Dynasty Fantasy Football, maybe even redraft too. This is just an exercise we do with a lot of big media mock drafts. Just get a feel of the fit of these landing spots. Give us something to talk about. If this happens, are we still going to rate this rookie high? Are we going to drop him in our ranks? What's going to happen? We do this with a lot of ranks, with a lot of mock drafts. If that's something you like, check the archives because I got them for all the big media guys. But today, we are going to go over Mel Kiper's mock draft. I have Mel Kiper's most recent mock draft pulled up. I think I have another 2 of his in the archives, so go give those a look as well. I'll try to link them in the description. But again, we're going to scroll down here, and we're going to look at the skilled players. Defense is heavy in this year's draft. Offensive line, heavy in this year's draft. However, they don't score us fantasy points. And we're just looking for bada boom ba. Wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, and we got one here at number 4, Drake London to the New York Jets. Very interesting location for him. Very interesting landing spots. Going to be paired with Zach Wilson. First wide receiver off the board. Top 5 draft capital. I imagine his dynasty, his rookie stock portfolio is just going to stay the same. It may have a little bit of an increase. A lot of people's liking him. We're seeing more talk amongst him from the community, from the Dynasty Fantasy Football nerds out there. They're talking him up. They're starting to bump him up in the rankings. Again, first wide receiver off the board here. Early landing spot. The Jets do not look like the greatest location from the outside looking in, but they're starting to add some pieces to the puzzle. We'll be sharing the field with Elijah Mitchell, Zach Wilson slinging the rock. The good thing about Zach Wilson's profile coming from BYU is he has a lot of air yards per attempt. I think he was pushing like 10 or so, one of the highest in the class last year. So that's something we can hitch a wagon to. He was looking better down the stretch last year. Well, let's see if more weapons can help him out. I feel like his stock will remain rather the same, if not a slight increase, if he's drafted at 4 here to the Jets. Moving on down here, Evan Neal, Trevon Walker. Moving on down, Garrett Wilson to the Falcons. They just lost Matt Ryan. They have Marcus Mariota now. Calvin Ridley suspended for a year, is probably gone. Probably never going to be a Falcon ever again. Kyle Pitts looks like the main pass catcher in the offense. We also got Cordell Patterson still there. He's still trucking. He could insert himself in Calvin Ridley's old row and still be productive. He is one of the best wide receivers in this draft. He's got good change of direction skills and good ball skills to go with that. I look like him as being like another Calvin Ridley-esque player, if not better. I think he's a better prospect than Ridley was coming out for the draft. So I feel like this is actually could be an upgrade, especially once he starts developing into the league. A lot more upside here with Garrett Wilson, and Garrett Wilson with Pitts is going to be interesting to fit here at the quarterback position. We just got to see who they bring in at quarterback for the long term. Let's see what Marcus Mariota can do. Let's see if they bring in some rookies. Let's see if they bring in some other vets. But right now, he's a rookie. We have time for this situation to change. I could see the Dynasty Fantasy Football community, depending how the rest of the draft goes, fading him a little bit, giving us a little bit of a discount, but not by much. He's still going to be a first rounder. He's not going to fall past the 105, 106 range, and if he does, that's a travesty, but he's still going to be valued really high here if he goes to the Falcons. Moving on down here. Who is our next player? Figure it's going to be a quarterback. Haven't seen these yet. I'm just reacting off it. Nope. Wide receiver, Chris Olave to the Eagles. I don't think we've done a mock draft on this channel, ESPN, NFL, CBS, whatever, not having the Eagles taking a wide receiver. This would be 3 years in a row. Jalen Reagor, Devonta Smith, Chris Olave. Chris Olave and Devonta Smith, that's kind of like the Spider-Man meme of those guys just pointing at each other. They got some similarities. They're not comps, they're not comparables, but they got some similarities. They're both short area quickness guys. They're smaller wide receivers, good change of direction skills. That's something you want in the league, though. You want guys that can separate, that can make big plays. Olave can do that. Smith can do that. From a fantasy perspective, who's going to get the target share here? Who's going to be the lead guy? You also got Dallas Goedert. You also got a running back corps that likes to catch the ball in the backfield. You got some options here. What if Jalen Reagor starts hitting? What if Quez Watkins starts improving? Quez Watkins got some deep speed. There's a lot of options here. Chris Olave may not be the best option here for fantasy. However, he's got some game in him. I feel like his overall rookie portfolio, his stock is going to stay the same. I feel like he's going to be a late first-round option. At worst, early second, but I feel like he's going to stay the same here. Even though he's the third wide receiver off the board, I feel like he's going to be the same because Devonta Smith's there, Dallas Goedert's there. Jalen Hurts, people aren't in love with him when it comes to his passing, but they love him for overall fantasy production. I feel like Chris Olave is probably going to stay in that same spot in ADP. Moving on down here, Kenny Pickett to the Saints. We've seen him mocked here a lot. Saints do need to think about quarterback. They just added in Jameson Winston and re-signed him or whatever you want to call it. He's there. He's just there. Kenny Pickett there could be their long-term option. Could be their guy. Could be the rock slinger for them. However, this team's got cap issues. They're figuring out how to get under the cap every other minute. But eventually that's going to bite them. Eventually that is. Believe it or not, the cap is real. Ask the Dallas Cowboys. The cap is real. That could impact him later on down the line. Michael Thomas may not be there forever. He's not getting younger. Alvin Kamara is not getting any younger. This is going to be very interesting how he would transition. Plus, Jameis Winston's there. Could give him a little time to develop in the offense. If this happens, this team has to get them weapons through the draft. They can't have them through free agency. They don't have the cap space. It could happen. They'd have to get some deals, but through the drafts this year, next year, year after, they would have to get him some pieces, some younger options for him to sling the rock to. I feel like he's going to be faded a little bit in rookie drafts. Super flex leagues, you may be able to give him at a little bit of a discount, considering a quarterback in a super flex league holds more value than what people realize. Moving on down here, Malik Willis to the Steelers. I actually love this fit. I think this is a great fit. I have him as my QB1 right now for rookies, especially for fantasy, due to the prospect profile, the upside, mainly shooting for the upside. Kind of like how I was shooting at Jalen Hurts when he was coming out. Just same feeling. If you got the Konami code, you follow the Konami code. You follow the rushing dopamine, and Malik Willis is going to give that to you. He's got big plays, big arms, and he's going to have, in this situation, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Najee Harris, Pat Freiermuth, all young options that he can develop with. Not much competition at the quarterback position. This is his chance to ride or die. This is it. You're going to pay up for this. Probably going to be the 101 in Superflex for many people, or the 102, depending on if you're going to go quarterback or Breece Hall. Moving on down here, I see Jameson Williams to the Patriots. I think this is a great fit for him and Mac Jones. I think those two would be a good pair together. I think his speed, his burst, his route running would complement Jones very well. I think this would be a good 1-2 punch for a long time. I feel like this would be one of the few times the Patriots hit at wide receiver in a rookie draft class. I feel very good about this landing spot for Williams. I feel like this would be a very underrated opportunity for him because a lot of people are going to fade him. One ACL, 1 year production. Patriots, low volume passing offense. They're going to be perceived that way for a long time until they change. This could allow him to be a value for us in rookie drafts. pretty much is going to hold the same ADP. Going down here, Packers, nothing. Cards, nothing. Dallas, nothing. Boom, Jahan Dotson to Buffalo. This is a good fit for Dotson for his fantasy value. I feel like this gives him a bump where he is going in the second round because he's paired with Josh Allen. Josh Allen just rises all tides, rises all boats. That's just how the game is. And he's just going to have to compete for targets. Stephon Diggs is still going to be there, soaking it up. You also got Gabe Davis there getting targets. You got Jameson, Crowder. You got some options there. He's going to have to compete for his targets. Will he be a wide receiver 1 year? No, I don't think so, unless he really balls out. Unless he really becomes like an out-of-nowhere Odell Beckham or something like that. But I don't see that happening. I feel like he'd be a decent role player there. I feel like he could make some kind of impact, probably more useful in real football. And for fantasy value here, probably in that wide receiver 2 bubble where there's 150 wide receiver 2s in Dynasty and you're just choosing your spots between them. Moving on down here. Breece Hall in the first round to the Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette's back to the Bucs, but that's not going to be forever. Breece Hall, Brady, that's a good situation there. Chris Godwin's back. Mike Evans. I feel like this is a good spot for Breece Hall. They're going to be in scoring position a lot, giving him opportunities to score. And he's going to start his career a little bit slow, which is all right. Leonard Fournette's probably going to carry the load a little bit, work in some touches. I don't want him injuring himself, wearing himself down during his rookie season, first year, second year, where he's not as efficient. I'd rather him slow himself into the role, get more efficient as he goes. Therefore, when he does get the role all to himself, he's gangbusters. I mean, he could be as a rookie, but I do want this asset to last as long as possible for me on my Dynasty roster. So if it is a little bit slow for me, if Leonard Fournette's being frustrating, that's all right. Also, I'll take the buying opportunity if it presents it. If it causes him to drop a few slots in some drafts, that's all good for me. I'm still drafting him, but I'm sure he's still going to be the 101 QB and flirting with being the 101 in 2 QB drafts as well. Really, it's pick your poison. Do I go to the top skill or do I go with the top QB? Moving on down here. Treylon Burks to the Packers. Big time landing spot. Does this make him your top wide receiver in the draft type of deal here? Aaron Rodgers is getting his replacement for Davante Adams. They need to do this. They needed to get someone to take the role of Davante Adams. Will he get a 30% target share off the rip? Probably not. I mean, I would say that about any wide receiver, but there's a chance for that. Can he be fantasy viable year 1? Yeah, in this role, yeah, there's not much competition for him. All he has to do is really show up and not suck. So Treylon Burks is a great situation. This keeps his draft stock up high. This will not put him past Breece Hall, but this will keep him up there. 102, 103 range in rookie drafts. I like this landing spot for him. Moving on down. And this might be it. Nope. Matt Corral to the Lions. Great spot here. This is a great selection here at 32 overall for the Lions. I feel like this is a big discount for Matt Corral, considering the talent, considering what we saw all last year. Big arm, some mobility, some moxie. I feel like this would be a good fit with what they got. This is a good discounted price tag. I think this is a steal at this price tag for him. I imagine they're going to pay a little bit more to get him somehow, some way. I don't understand how, but really, I don't feel like this is a 32 overall selection. I like Matt Corral. I had him as my QB1 going into the offseason. And for fantasy, I like Malik Willis a little bit more due to the upside. But overall, quarterback-wise, I had Matt Corral as the QB1 all throughout last year during the college football season. I feel like this is a good spot for him. I feel like this could be good for the Lions, and this is a cheap option for Superflex leagues. I feel like he's going to be slept on a little bit just because how people perceive the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff there taking over for the beginning of that. They're probably going to slow him into the role. It's probably not going to be a starter right away. I feel like you're going to get him at a discount, maybe middle to the late first round Superflex. I like that price tag for a first round quarterback if that happens, but I feel like that's going to be where his ADP is going to be because a lot of people are going to be jumping at some of these rookie wide receivers ahead of him. But that's all he's got for the first round. Let me know what you think about these landing spots. Let me know who you'd be taking as your top skilled player. Which one's your favorite quarterback? Mine's Malik Willis due to the landing spot. Then it would be Corral. Then it'd be Pickett. But Sam Howell didn't get drafted in this scenario. My top wide receiver, off the rip, off how my gut is feeling, Treylon Burks. And I love that Breece Hall's going in the first round. Wasn't really guessing that earlier in the season, but it feels better now that we have all the information data together. And yeah, I like that Breece Hall's going in the first round. I don't even think he needs to be in the first round to be the 101. I feel like second round or wherever he goes in the second, as long as he doesn't fall to the third, he's the 101. I feel like he's locked in there. Let me know if you debate that or not. But make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Every subscription matters. Fuels me to keep putting out this content. The mock drafts, the film study, going over the data, going over the tape, and everything else. Again, I want to thank you, and I'll catch you next time.